Hey guys, today we are hiking up to Bivacco Spagnolli in the Dolomite Mountains of northern Italy. Welcome back to Adventures in Aviators, guys. Today I'm taking you to one of my favorite hidden gems in all of Europe. This is the Dolomite Mountains in northern Italy. This is well off the beaten track of most people's European adventures, and that's because trains do not go up into the Dolomite Mountains very easily. You might remember that we did another hike as part of the Dolomite Mountain Range, and this one was in Slovenia. But this Italian hike we did several years before as part of our big European vacation back in 2015. So what we actually did was we took a car down from Innsbruck, Austria. You could also take a car up from Venice or even from Milan, but that's pretty much the best way to get there unless you want to spend hours and hours on a bus. We really discovered the Dolomite Mountains on Pinterest, and once we saw these pictures, we said, we have to go there. How can we make it there? And thus began my really changing experience when it comes to Airbnbs. We hadn't done a lot of Airbnbs up to this point, but I found this quaint little Airbnb in Laggio de Cadore, and it was amazing. This adorable old lady helped us out there and gave us meat, cheese, and bread for every meal, and the town was just a little nothing, but it was tucked in between these huge peaks. It was just stunning. There was no other tourists around, very few hikers around. It was just the pinnacle kind of experience that I like to have on vacation. So if you enjoy getting away from people, finding little hidden gems, get into the Dolomite Mountains. This changed the game for me, and now we almost exclusively stay in Airbnbs. Bivacco Spagnolli was recommended by the locals as you hike up to this cabin that's established up on the mountaintop. And it starts 6.1 kilometers east of town. That's on SP 619. And there's a small little roadside parking area. It's not very prominent at all. We actually passed it the first time. But there's a small place for you to park your cart there. As you go up the mountain, it's going to be 3.8 miles up to the cabin. And then it's an out and back. And so going to be 3.8 coming back down. And over that span, you climb 2,800 feet. So there's plenty of elevation change. It's beautiful though. It is just absolutely stunning the whole way up. The trail is very well marked. It's not going to be very easy to get lost. You start off in a heavy forested area there with huge trees all around, but there are enough viewpoints that it keeps getting you excited as you ascend up the mountain.
Oh, hey there. It's Jason and Michelle.
Huey.
The Hueys. And we're just hiking in the Dolomite Mountains. It's pretty fun. Lots of elevation. Oh, look over there, it's a Dolomite.
About 1.4 miles in, there will be a split, and you want to stay to the right. The left path is going to kind of cut across the mountain, and you want to continue going up the mountain. So hang your right as you hit that spot, and continue ascending all the way up the face of the mountain. As you get to the very top, it does get a little bit steeper, but man, you just get so excited because the views are amazing. And once you finally reach the cabin up there, it's a perfect place to either grab lunch or to rest up a little bit. This trail actually does continue going all the way up the peaks, but that's going to be a hefty climb that we did not attempt. But here you can see it on the map that it continues up and zigzags back and forth all the way up the peaks. And these peaks continue to gain significant elevation as you go from here. So definitely be prepared for a vigorous hike if that's what you're going to do. And of course you got to come down too. And this was a great place to remember that you need to check the weather and for the day. And when we got up to the top, it was really pretty, but we stayed for about 20 minutes and enjoyed lunch in the cabin, took a bunch of pictures, and by the time we were ready to go, these clouds were coming down the mountain. It was getting dark and rainy, and we ended up having to leave with our rain gear on. Thankfully, it didn't really come down on us, and it was just kind of sprinkling throughout as we made our descent. I tell you, the descent on this mountain really hurt our legs more than the ascent. Michelle, she ended up like jogging down, and she will probably never do that again. She was hurting for about 4 days after that. Now, to be fair, coming down the mountain, I heard something that I thought sounded like a big cat. That's all I can tell you. It sounded like the low rumblings of a big cat, and that spooked Michelle enough that she just was having nothing to do with her leisurely pace, and she trekked it down to the bottom of the mountain. And her hips were sore for days. And I'll tell you, my knees were sore, and I wasn't jogging down the mountain. But so trekking poles, definitely having hiking boots, and those things are really going to benefit you whenever you're gaining this much elevation in a hike. Apparently, also the internet says that there are no big cats in this area, so you shouldn't worry about that either. I stand by what I saw. All I told her is what I heard. Oh, lordy. Anyway. I can't overly state how much of a treat this spot is in the world. Whether or not you do this hike, whether or not you find a different hike, there's so many different trails all throughout the Dolomite Mountains. So many of them are relatively untouched. There's actually a ton of World War I ruins in this area for that exact reason, that no one goes here. And so they're very well kept and now historically preserved areas. But to get off the beaten path in Europe, this place was just spectacular. The views were amazing. The quaint Airbnb that we found, I cannot speak more highly of. If you like to get off the beaten path and love to find little quaint places in nature and love beautiful mountain peaks, you need to check out Northern Italy. You need to put this on your list. Not easy to get to. We ended up renting that car, which, you know, is a pain. It's a little expensive, kind of terrifying to rent a car in a foreign country, all those things. You need to have your international driver's license and all that. But well worth the effort. Some of my favorite memories of all of Europe come from our couple of days here in Northern Italy. So I hope you check it out. If you, of course, have any recommendations for this area or any other suggestions for this hike in particular, please put those in the comments below. We want everyone to enjoy this beautiful planet, and this is one of my favorite spots in all of Europe, so please go check it out. And if you have any other feedback or suggestions, please leave those in the comments below. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, you can do that over here, and please like it as well. We want you to be able to subscribe to all of our variety of hiking videos from all over the world, so you can take super fun adventures as well. We'll see you next time.